I believe there are two ways to look at any situation. You can focus on the bad or choose to see the good. I choose to see the good.
I remember one time I was with a friend of mine who lives in New York also. We went to pick up his cousin. She lived on a farm in New Hampshire her whole life. And we passed this homeless guy, and she sees him. I mean, we all passed him, but she saw him. She's the only one who actually saw him. We didn't. Me and her cousin were like, so? He's supposed to be there. So there's a perfectly good reason why that's not me and it's him. It's all the right people always win, I'm sure of it. She goes, oh my God, sir, are you okay? What happened? What happened? America happened. What do you mean, what happened? So she's down there, sir, can we call someone? And me and my friend, we're from New York, this is the crazy part. We immediately go to her, oh, no, honey, don't, We start correcting her behavior like she's doing something wrong. She's like, why, is he okay? No, he needs you desperately. That's not the point. We just don't do that here. You silly country girl.
In every concrete jungle, amidst the skyscrapers and neon lights, there is a constant, fixed presence that often goes unnoticed. It's the presence of homelessness, an issue so pervasive that it no longer shocks our senses. The once shocking sight of a homeless person has become as mundane as the daily commute. The true tragedy lies not just in the existence of homelessness, but in our collective desensitization to it. There, on the crowded sidewalk, somewhere in the world, lies a man wrapped in worn blankets. His existence, though palpable, is systematically erased by the hurried steps of passersby, myself included. Each of us, one by one, steps over the man's protruding feet, our actions seemingly subconscious. It is as if his feet were kin to the concrete, a fixture of our busy walkways, not deserving of a second glance, let alone a helping hand. Our steps remain uninterrupted, our faces locked in the screens of our smartphones, our minds racing with the next item on our never-ending to-do lists. In that moment, the man on the pavement is invisible, just another part of the urban scenery, a perennial backdrop to our urban lives that we've grown so accustomed to. Homeless people have become the decor of downtowns. Their presence is no longer a stain on our collective conscience, but rather an art installation in the urban landscape and a badge of honor for benchmarking the collusion between corrupt city officials and the not-so-noble non-profits to embezzle funds meant for the homeless in the name of the homeless. Public parks, once serene retreats, are now the grand stages for homeless chess players' underground tournaments. Tourists and natives alike view them not as fellow humans in need, but as fixtures, necessary components of the vitality of downtown's atmosphere. The pungent aroma of urine, once repulsive, has evolved into an acquired taste, reminiscent of the comforting scent of cinnamon that greets you when passing by a bakery.
Ever since I moved to New York, I've made an effort to be friendly. Hello, sir. It's like we're dancing.
Move or I'll kick you in the clam.
But lately it's feeling a little one-sided. New Yorkers always seem to be in a rush. They never even stop to get to know their neighbors. Oh, hi, I'm June. I don't think that we've met. Oh, God. Have a good day. Perfect. A captive audience from my Indiana charm. Building, meet June.
Oh, cookies. Fun. Is it a coworker's birthday?
I'm bringing them to the tenants meeting. I want to meet our neighbors. Back in Indiana, I was the best neighbor. I used to feed people's cats and water plants and get mail.
Oh, so you were my grandma.
I once heard that change is only possible when we are uncomfortable enough. And even then, we've got to start feeling the selfless kind of uncomfortable about the presence of homelessness in our front yard, wrote another anonymous voice of conscience. We've got to feel a churn in our stomach and an ache in our hearts at the sight of a fellow human being sleeping on our sidewalks, regardless of the valid or invalid reason. We've got to do everything we can to make homelessness unwelcome, not just in our homes and neighborhoods, but also our cities and countries. Sadly, that's wishful thinking on my part. Homelessness is a reflection of our collective indifference. The truth is, as a society, we've become desensitized to the suffering of those who have fallen through the cracks of our economic and social systems. We've normalized the abnormal, accepted the unacceptable, and ignored the cries for help that echo through our streets. In our quest for self-actualization, we've left behind those who couldn't keep pace, and we've justified it with hubris, forgetting that we are not infallible. We are one raw deal away from bankruptcy, one missed paycheck away from poverty, one false accusation away from a tarnished reputation, one harmless snort away from addiction, and one civil war away from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. In short, we are all one step away from homelessness. To address this issue, we must collectively awaken from our apathy, rekindle our empathy, confront our own detachment, and channel our discomfort into action. Only then can we hope to reclaim the humanity that has been eroded by our indifference.
I remember one time I was with a friend of mine who lives in New York also, and we went to pick up his cousin. She lived on a farm in New Hampshire her whole life. Her family was this weird family. They kept their kids on a farm. Anyway, her parents finally died, so she got to leave. And so she came down to visit her cousin, my friend, in the city. And so we picked her up at Port Authority bus station. She had never been to any city before, and we're picking her up at the Port Authority, that smelly hole of a place. And we pick her up there, and she's just freaking out at New York. She's never seen anything like it. And we pass this homeless guy, and she sees him. I mean, we all passed him, but she saw him. She's the only one who actually saw him. We didn't. Me and her cousin were like, so? He's supposed to be there. So it's a perfectly good reason why that's not me and it's him. It's all the right people always win, I'm sure of it. But so there he is, and this dude was particularly homeless. He was one of those high-octane homeless, smelly, just piss smell. The unbelievable piss smell. So he was pissed. He didn't just smell like piss. He was, when you piss, he comes out. That's how much. It's just this dude with garbage all over him. I don't know if he had gathered it for warmth, or folks just went, ugh, all day. And he had dreadlocks. Not hacky sack, cool guy, medical marijuana dreadlocks. Just human neglect clumps of hair. A clump of hair for every year that no one knew his name or cared. Yeah, that's who you've been laughing at for the last 10 minutes. That's how bad it was. And again, me and my friend were just like, meh. His cousin immediately just gets, she's like, oh my God, she takes a knee. That's how, I mean, I'm not even taking a real knee now. That's how little I give a shit about the guy. He's not even here and I'm still like, meh, yeah, it's close enough. She goes, oh my God, sir, are you okay? What happened? What happened? America happened. What do you mean, what happened? So she's down there, sir, can we call someone? And me and my friend, we're from New York, this is the crazy part. We immediately go to her, oh, no, honey, don't, We start correcting her behavior like she's doing something wrong. She's like, why, is he okay? No, he needs you desperately. That's not the point. We just don't do that here. You go, silly country girl.